What's good, Panther Nation? It's your boy, Myron McRae, a.k.a. Tornado McRae, across the skies of the internet, here with another episode of Panther Pride TV, your one-stop shop for all your Panther notifications and your Panther obligations. And happy Friday to all of y'all, man. You made it to another week. You made it through another week. So, you know what? Give big shout-outs to you, man. Go treat yourself today because you deserve it. Like a cookie, maybe like a little personal pan pizza. Maybe you deserve like a drink or something. I don't know. Whatever is your favorite thing, go treat yourself because you made it through another week without crashing out or doing anything that may end up leaving you in jail or something like that. So, hey, kudos. Now, before we get into today's topics and discussions, I do have to address something because y'all know me and I am very I'm very, I guess, stringent and whatnot about making sure I put out the right information. I have to hold myself accountable because I have been putting out incorrect information. And it is in regards to Chuba Hubbard's contract. It is $33 million. I had a few of y'all in the comment section point that out. I greatly appreciate it. I apologize. That is on me for having that information wrong. When I saw Chuba's contract, especially when it first happened, I saw 4 years, 33 million I saw 33 million in 4 years, and somehow my dyslexic stupid brain attributed 33 million per year. That's how I was getting to the 100 million mark. And that is gravely incorrect. That is false. That is not true. It is a $33 million extension. So to those of you who pointed it out in the comment section but didn't also get like derogatory and say I'm stupid and things like that, you're just like, hey, yo, that's not it. I greatly appreciate you. Hold me accountable because I do hold others accountable when I see incorrect information as well. So I have to be a man and stand on that. Admit I was wrong. That is my apologies. I greatly apologize for anybody who was confused by me speaking that. So I wanted to address that. All of you in the comment section who pointed that out, appreciate you. I went back, saw it. Because I'm usually pretty good at contract info, but for some reason that was not connecting. And my brain just kept saying, yeah, it's $33 million per year. Granted, I think Chuba might be worth that, but I guess that's just where my brain just kept connecting instead of being like, no, stupid, it's $33 million total. So definitely apologize to all of y'all about that. That is on me. I will make sure to do better in the future and not be that egregious in terms of numbers. Now, on to today's show and on to today's subject. First thing first is the updated injury report from yesterday, man. And let's go ahead and take a look at this. And from yesterday's practice, here's what we see. Bryce Young did not practice due to his ankle for obvious reasons. Cam Jackson actually did leave practice due to an illness, or he didn't practice due to an illness. But Damian Lewis and Princely Umamuela did have full practice and participation. You know, Lewis missed last week with a shoulder injury, and Umamuela injured his ribs in the last game. But I'm glad to see them coming out. Now, Bryce, I expect them to make a determination on Bryce maybe today. Probably today, by the end of the day, if I had to make a guess. Perhaps tomorrow they'll make a distinction. I'd be surprised if they wait up till Sunday and be like, wait till the last minute. But then again, you know, the gamesmanship, somebody pointed out in the comment section of making the Bills prepare for two different quarterbacks, which, all fair. If Canales wants to do that, hey, that's his prerogative. That's what he can do. But I would expect the decision to be made soon. Now, Cam Jackson, hope you feel better, sir. Sorry to see you go out with an illness, man, but sometimes it happens. Flu season's around the corner, so you know, he might have just caught a flu bug, which is very possible. But I am so happy. Damian Lewis, please come back. Please come back. Damian, I need you back. I need you back this week because I don't want Corbett at left guard again. I really don't. I really don't, dog. I just don't. So thank you for being healthy. Princely, glad you're feeling better. Rib injuries suck because you can't put a cast on them. You can't really do anything for the ribs. So it's just like, All right, either you can go or you can't. And I'm glad to see Princely's good to go. Now, another thing preparing for Sunday, I think might be pretty cool, y'all, is that some history can actually be made.
NANI?
I know some of you might be like, what do you mean history can be made on Sunday? Now check this out. This is if Andy Dalton gets to start on Sunday and does well. So this came from Mike K, who is part of the Charlotte Observer, and he says, if Andy Dalton starts to play Sunday, he could enter into pretty exclusive company. He's currently tied with Dan Fouts for the 26th most touchdowns thrown in NFL history at 254. He needs one to pass Johnny Jurgensen, 255, for 25th, and 2 passes to claim 25th ever by himself. Actually, get that a Zoidberg. Get that a good Zoidberg. I think if Andy Dalton can do that, I think that's pretty cool. Considering his career, the way his career has been projected all the way back to his TCU days, Andy Dalton has been a solid, solidified quarterback. He's never been the best of the best in the league, but he's never been the worst of the worst by any stretch of the imagination. I've always viewed Andy Dalton as a very, at his peak, high tier 2. At his peak, he was a high tier 2 guy. Like, you had the tier 1 guys at the top, and then Andy Dalton was right there at the top of tier 2 when he was at his best, and so on and so forth. And the crazy thing is, like I said, he hasn't had a crazy fall off either. Right now, you can see him low end tier 2, high end tier 3. If we're being honest, and it depends on who we're talking about now. If we're including everybody, he's probably starting in tier 3. He's probably starting in tier 3. But if we take out the names we know that are up there, like the Mahomes, the Burrows, the Lamar Jacksons, the Josh Allen, so on and so forth, you could make the argument that on his best day now, he could be a tier 2 quarterback. Worst, regular day, he's a tier 3. He's a regular day now, he's a tier 3 quarterback. Worst day, low, top end, tier 4. Tier 4, he's got to be tier 5, but we've seen worse days from Andy. However, I would love to see this for Andy. I think he deserves it. It'd be really cool to see. It's like, hey, bro, you have the 25th most touchdowns in NFL history. I know some people are going to tout that and be like, it's only 25th. Man, think about that. The NFL has been going on since the early 1900s, technically before it really like blew up in the 40s and 50s. But in the history of this game, you have amassed the 25th most touchdowns thrown in this game. It's nothing to scoff at. It's nothing to scoff at. That is a respectable achievement. And when Andy Dalton said and done, he decides to go coach. That's something kids are going to look up to and be like, man, my coach really knows what he's talking about. He has the 25th most touchdowns in NFL history. And granted, in due time, he'll probably drop on the list just due to how the evolution of sports goes. But that's still really cool. Andy Dalton, if you're ever watching this, I hope you achieved that, sir. I hope you achieved that, and I think you deserve that. And now, thirdly, one of y'all favorite segments that we do every Friday right here on this channel, because I love doing this for y'all. It is time for Would You Rather Panthers edition. And this is the segment where I give y'all a would you rather related to the Carolina Panthers, and y'all tell me which one would you rather choose. And I think this is pretty fun. I think a lot of y'all enjoy it. I come up with some pretty good ones. So this week, I'm going to hurt you a little bit. Because it's going to bring back some bad memories. But I also think y'all might enjoy this. All right. This week's Would You Rather. Who would you rather bring back to the Carolina Panthers team right now? Brian Burns or DJ Moore? Oh.
NANI?
Yep. If you could get either one right now, no cap room issue, you ain't got to trade away no assets, we can just bring them back to go on this team right now. Who would you bring back? Brian Burns or DJ Moore? Now, for me, as quiet as it's kept, I actually would bring back Brian Burns.
NANI?
Brian Burns is still an effective pass rusher, and I just sitting there looking at it like him scoring Umamiela could cause havoc, especially with Derek Brown still here too, holding down like the front of the D-line. I think Brian Burns would be immaculate in the pass rush. He knows how to get there. I love DJ Moore. However, as crazy as it's kept, I think we have finally gotten our receiving core solidified to where we could move on from DJ Moore. We don't need him as much as we needed him last year or in 2023. With T-Mac doing what he's doing, X coming into his own, Jimmy Horn getting some shine, Bryson Tremaine being the shock of the season to me, the tight ends and Trimble, Sanders, as well as Mitchell Evans, they're doing amazing. Then we still got Hunter Renfrow on the low. We still got David Moore coming back. And we just got Jalen Coker back from injury. I think we're okay. I don't necessarily think we need DJ Moore anymore. But Brian Burns, because we're not getting sacks like that on a consistent basis. I know we got 6 last week, but we haven't been getting sacks on the quarterback on a consistent basis like that. And I feel Brian Burns could change all of that. And that could make this defense go from where it's at right now to even scarier. He'd be great in helping in the run game that we already got and be a disruptor in the pass rush, in the passing game as well. So I'm thinking Brian Burns, but y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. Y'all might think DJ Moore is who we need right now to really help this offense out. Who knows? But now it is time for y'all also favorite segment, your daily segment. It's time for Panther Nation to speak your truth. And that's why I read y'all comments from the last video and see what y'all had to say about some of the things that I spewed on this comment section. Oh, before we get into that, always, time for the Panther freeze frame of the day. And this is from yesterday's practice. Andy Dalton and T-Mac getting a little handshake in. I love it. Looks like Andy Dalton's like doing a Karate Kid move. And think about it was, the way I know this is a handshake is because there's a photo before this where Andy Dalton is crowning Jalen Coker. So I'm like, okay, this is them doing like their handshakes before they get ready to do their reps and whatnot, which I used to do the same thing with my teammates. Certain teammates, I did have handshakes before we did stuff. So, you know, it builds that camaraderie and it's always fun. But now it is time to get into y'all comment section and let's see what you got to say. And the first one comes up from the man, Grizzly the Bowler himself. My bro says, in my opinion, I'm confident in either starting quarterback. As long as everyone from the owner down to the players, even the water boy has the same mindset. Protect the bank at all costs. Hey, I love that that's become a thing. And I know Grizzly was the first. I'll give credit what credit is due. He is the first person I saw say that phrase this season. Like, yo, we need to protect the bank. And I have started to see that become a thing more and more on social media. So if anybody asks me who I first heard it from, I'm giving credit to Grizzly. He's the one who said it first to me. Other people can be like, oh, I've been saying that for... No. To me, in my world, he is the first one to say it. So he trademarks it. He gets a patent that. That's just me. Next comes from Aim Small Frag High. My man says, Andy Dalton is our Derek Anderson during the Cam Newton era. I can trust him to go out there and get us some wins if Bryce can't go. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Like, I can see that. And I think, crazy as it's kept, I think Andy Dalton is better than what Derek Anderson was for us. Andy Dalton is a better quarterback than Derek Anderson in my whole honest opinion. So I'm not against this take at all. I see it, and hey, makes sense. Makes sense to me. And then lastly, comes from Jesse Case, says, hell no on that trade. Absolutely not. I wouldn't trade either one of them for him, much less both. Plus, we only have Rico pinned down for this year. I got a feeling we'll lose Rico next year. No, that ish would be downright stupid. And I I'm not against it. Did I give Frag High a growl? I don't know if I did. I can't remember. So couldn't remember if I gave Frag High, Aim Small Frag High a growl. I wanted to give him that too. But that is it, y'all. And I have to say, again, I agree. I'm not doing that trade. Not at all. Would not do it. Can't do it. I like Shador, but I'm not doing that. But guys, that's all I have for today's episode. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell at the bottom so you can always be notified of when these videos are dropping next. Hey, comment below and let me know, what are your thoughts on the injury report? Do y'all feel it's going to be Bryce or Andy starting this weekend? How do y'all think? Y'all think it'd be cool to see Andy Dalton make history this weekend? And remember, choose one. Would you bring back Brian Burns or DJ Moore? And lastly, follow my personal YouTube at Tornado McRae if you want to see my immediate game reactions. I do those every Sunday, or in some events Monday if we get Monday night games or Thursday night games. Yeah, y'all know what it is. But that's where I post my immediate post game reactions. Those are on my channel. I've had one every week so far, so you can go check those out. It's literally in a playlist called Carolina Panthers Collection. You can go check those out. And honestly, that has all my stuff. I've been talking about the Carolina Panthers since I started YouTube seriously over the last few years, if you want to go check that out. But with all that being said, guys, that's it. Leave all your comments down below, because at the end of the day, what do I know? I'm just a skinny brother with two tats. Peace. Much love to all you Panthers Nation. Take care. Later days. And as always, keep pounding. I'll see y'all next time.